Hey guys, what is going on? It is Ando, and we've got another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video for you today. And when I was thinking about what video I wanted to make that would be helpful for people, I thought this is such a huge season because of the Datacron shift that we should actually talk about what we should be bringing off of defense this season. So before we get into the video, if you guys could hit the thumbs up, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then comment which team that you're going to bring off of defense this season. As it might not be something that I have on here. So all that stuff can help people out. So to give everyone a little bit of background on this, a new Datacron set is going to mean that there's going to be new squad dynamics. And with the new squad dynamics, setting the same thing that we have in the past just might not produce the same results as previous seasons. So I kind of wanted to analyze it through that lens. If the DCs or the Datacrons that you see probably won't affect you or where you're at, there might still be value in this, but it just might not be 100% applicable. As well, like, I'm not sponsored by this, but big thanks to Star Wars or SWGoH.GG, as it provided the data, and all data that was taken from this was taken from Kyber 1 and 2. I just limited it to those two because I thought that's probably the place that we'd see the most of these Datacrons that we're going to be kind of judging all this off of. And then again, all the data was taken from season 39, which was the last 3v3. So not this current one that, obviously not the one that we have a current sets for, but I think we can glean a lot of information from those. So the first team that we're going to take off of defense, and this one was kind of surprising to me, again, because it is just looking at K1 and K2. There was 11.4 battles that were done against a Padme lead. It led to an 82.76 win rate for the first time battle. So actually not a bad, team to set there. If that it's pulling, almost close to 20% loss rates on that, being a non-GL team, but it was a 55.8 banner average. So why are we going to bring them off of defense this season? Well, because health percent damage that happens with courage. So every 5 stacks of courage that happens on the Padme team, they're going to take that additional 40% of their max health percentage. Max health percentage is buffed this season through our own Datacron sets. So it's really going to depend on whether or not someone's modded or just naturally occurring to be more protection based rather than a health based. But for the most part, we are going to see an increased amount of what that courage is going to do, especially if they have that level 3 that's boosting it up. Again, it's equal parts health and protection, but does matter depending on how the character is set up. So the other reason why is if it's paired with Mace, it could be a very good team. This isn't the 2019 Padme anymore, where you're just going to take banner losses, and even though it's going to be a solid win and a kind of one that you can count on, it's not necessarily going to be one of those ones where you're going to score the 55 anymore. You can actually score 57 with the right characters. Additionally, Mace helps with other things that we are going to see in this set, where he's going to, every time he shatter points, he's going to reduce their max health, defense, and offense all by 10%. So again, playing off of like things that we need to want to see in this Datacron set, us helping with is that reduction in those stats. They're a very durable team as is. I would assume that's kind of why they're falling. People are failing it at close to 20% rate, and Datacrons reinforce that. So there is quite a bit to be taken from this. The suggested team comps that are, you bring on offense is, the Padme Gideon squad, or Pad Gid, or I think the Gid Me is another name for it. And then my personal favorite is really just Ahsoka Tano and Mace Windu. Again, just because I like what Mace is doing. Okay, let's talk about Rey. This one's gonna hurt a lot of people. It won't hurt me. I think last season I was bringing Rey on offense anyways, but there were 67.7 thousand battles in Kyber 1 and Kyber 2. It led to a 58.04% win rate. That Datacron set, though, that made her so strong is gone, though. That's not to say that she's bad by any means. She's really good on defense, but I think we're going to see those numbers kind of pop back up a little bit. So why are we going to bring him off of defense this season? Obviously, those are really great stats. One, like I said, the Datacron set that made her really, really good is gone. It has been dusted. But really, there's a few other reasons why, right? It solves a big issue for us. In set 9, we have no real answer to the defense percentage other than true damage, and she's gonna do true damage. So that's a huge win there for the Rey team. Also, if Ben Solo has his applicable Omicron, he actually hits underneath protection, and protection's buffed this season with this Datacron set. So it's going to actually be really, really helpful if that Omicron is applied. And then typically the AI can't figure out the Ben and Rey, connection and interactions, right? So typically you have to put yourself in the spot that's vulnerable for them to be able to kill Ben. And then the other thing is set 8, and again, I've capsed it all. It can have applicability, right? But we can obviously recommend set 9. But set 8, the real reason why we're putting this in here is this is the first season with this new Datacron set. It's not like there's going to be a huge number of people that have 30 of the set 9, so they're going to have to try and pick and choose which teams are going to get that set 9, their limited number of set 9 Datacrons. So again, there's some decent stuff in there that can actually help the Rey team in set 8. Okay, this one's a little bit more rare, but that being said, as someone that sets SLKR on defense sometimes because it's not really planned for, it's actually one of the more rare teams on this list, but that's the reason why I loved it, because not many people plan for it. So if it's taking you by surprise, maybe you have a great answer for it, maybe you don't. But in 6,200 battles last season, last 3v3 season, it had an 82.27 win rate and a 54.7 banner average. So why are we going to bring him off this season? As with every season kind of leading up to this one, he's just really valuable on offense. And he's just, that's going to be the same this one. He's just going to be way too valuable this season for us to put him on defense. But additionally, the second point in there of like, no, but really he's just going to be way too valuable is like actually true. So like even myself, the guy that likes to sometimes throw this into the defense structure, we need an answer for Jabba, we need an answer for Lord Vader, and I don't know if JMK can really solve one of those. Maybe not. I think we're gonna, with those increased buff crons, we're gonna see them struggle a little bit more on both of those squads. So our suggested team comps here, that first one with Hux and Kylo Ren is going to be the one that we used last season for Jabba. Now again, that was to try to stop the TM load that was happening there, but I think it can still work. I don't think there's anything that's going to be wrong with that. And then our last one, or our second comp there, is really more tailored towards Lord Vader. And so yeah, and again, this is another one that can have some applicability for set 8. Again, though, probably recommend set 9. Okay, next squad is going to be TREY, and again, this is one's going to hurt people. There was, over 10,000 battles in K1 and K2, and it was a pretty low win rate. Again, for a non-GL squad, that's pretty great. At 69, nice percent. So why are we going to bring him off this season? And I think this is one where we're going to have to kind of feel this one out. I would do it the first week, maybe even second week. But as things kind of start developing, we kind of figure out different squads and what the answers are for them. The big reason why is just having an instant kill in this set 9 is going to be way too valuable. So, and the other thing is, like, if it's not a GL and if it's not Reva, TREY is going to have a pretty good chance of killing it. And then again, it's not really set dependent, but you really do want a set 9 on these, especially if you can get the Sith ones where, even if you're adding an ability block or you're adding, you're giving yourself a little bit of obviously the buffed stats, but you could also get doubt in there. You can get there's a few different things that I think actually could really help this squad. I mean, I think we're going to find these guys, especially Sith. I think they're kind of like a dark horse in this set. I think we're going to find some stuff that eventually we're going to really love about bringing Sith on offense, or even potentially putting him on defense. So, but that's the big one there. And then the last one, guys, is Admiral Raddus. So as someone that, again, has kind of always stuck Raddus, it's like, oh, cool. It's a team, like, you know, and, you know, you can see the win right there, you know, 81%, not horrible, not great. But there were 63,000 battles on this in Kyber 1 and Kyber 2, for a 55 banner average. So why are we going to bring him off this season? Literally, like, if there was no other reason, like just the Raddus mini ult Hope, it has a revive, it has a full reheal on your own team, it deals true damage, it has a 4-turn protection, disruption, and heal immunity, which are locked, so they can't cleanse that. All those things are just like, it just speaks to this set of like why you would want that, because, you know, all those buffs are happening to that stuff. And so, like, just literally that move alone is going to be kind of, you know, your saving grace. It's also a stat sharing team, so if you have the Omicron applied, set 9 is really going to play into them. And then the suggested team comp is actually the one that everyone typically tries to put on defense. I thought it was quite interesting. I thought a tank was going to be better here, but for all the kind of punch ups, if you will, that happen with this squad, it's actually with this team. And once you add the tank in, it usually actually starts to fall in rates, win rates. So anyways, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was a little bit insightful on what you guys are going to do for this upcoming 3v3 season. It's going to change a lot, I think, but I think once we kind of get into week 2, week 3, we'll start to kind of feel out what's happening with the set, who really got the huge buffs, who maybe can go back on set 8 and survive at least on set 8, as we're not going to all have, you know, 30 Datacrons that are going to be extremely buffed to the 9s. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.